सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणे विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा समस्तजगत्कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मवेद्वरं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः हरि ओम। प्रेम स्वरूप जामिन स्वामी की जय। Jai Sitaram, and welcome to this evening's monthly satsang. On behalf of the management of the mandir, let me take this opportunity to welcome all of us to this evening's satsang. We will begin with some invocation bhajans and then see how the evening proceeds. Bole Gajananda Swami ki jai.
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम्
Krishna करुणानिधान प्रभु श्री राम
करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम करुणा निधान प्रभु श्री राम सीता वल्लभ हनुमत सेविका
राम राम भज राम राम भज राम राम भज राम 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 सिया राम भज ले राम राम सिया राम भज राम राम सिया राम भज राम राम सिया गोपाला राधा लोला मुरली लोला गोपाला पायो जी मैंने राम रतन
बोले Rajramachandra ki jai. We join in Sri Ramayana Smira as we glorify and praise the Panchpal Devatas, Shri Ganesha, Ma Durga, Shambhu, Mahadev, Mahavishnu and Surya, the eternal Guru. as well as we acknowledge the presence of Sri Hanumanji in our satsang. Sri Ramayana Sundar. रामायण कथा अयोध्या काल श्री राम और केवट का संवाद दोहा। बोलिए रामचंद्र की जय। Katha takes us into the forest. Sri Ram just would have left Ayodhya for exile, spending one night on the outskirts of a village of Ayodhya, meeting Nishadiraj, the tribal people, and Guha being the leader, king. In the midst of the night, in the wee hours of the morning particularly, Sri Ram, Bhagavan, awoke alongside Mother Sita, Lakshmanji, and as well Guha, the king of that village. And these four left everybody else sleeping, and they left that village. The people of Ayodhya, all of the citizens, followed Sri Ram out of Ayodhya, and they spent that one first night with him, but they slept away. And in the deep slumber, Bhagavan left and went away. First lesson for all of us. In the midst of Bhagavan, you don't sleep. Could miss him. Bhagavan, at this point, he has asked Sumatra, the Prime Minister of Raja Dashrath, who was charged with the task of just taking them for a trip into the forest and bringing them back. Sri Ram instructed Sumatra to leave and go back to the city of Ayodhya. And Tulsi Baba does a scene change from very sad position, having asked Suman to leave. We listen in our opening chaupai where Sri Ram finds himself. Bhagavan is now at the bank of Ganga. This katha in particular would have been one of the very famous katha. I'm sure most of you sitting here would have heard it many times before. But just as, when you go to the doctor for some illness or virus or something, the doctor gives you medication and he says 3 times per day for 7 days. The doctor don't give you 21 doses of different medication. It's one medication. So too, with Bhagwan's Katha, sometimes you need to listen to it over and over and over and over for it to quell that disease or virus of the mind. This Katha is entitled Kevat Katha. Many of us might would have heard it before as that. Kevat Katha, the boatman Katha, so to speak. Kevat being the boatman. Sri Ram has found himself now at the bank of Ganga. Sri Ram, Mother Sita, Lakshman and Guha, Nishad Raj, that is the king of the village that he would have spent the night before. 4 of them are there. Sri Ram wants to cross Ganga. So now, he hailing the boatman, who is on the opposite side of Ganga. The word used here, Magi. Magi Navana Kevata Ana. He is begging Kevat to come, bring your boat, take me across the river. Imagine, I don't know how much of you travel these days, and you're on the taxi stand. You have 20 of them stand up there, and everybody want to carry you in the car. And they say they're going now. That was long time days, right? Maybe it still happens sometimes. Kevat is seated on Ganga, on the other side, opposite side, in his boat. Bhagavan, he is begging Kevat to bring the boat. Kevat sits down. You open one eye, you watch it. With no care. That is Kevat. At one point in time, he get up, he stretch something a little bit, and he's down back. Imagine Bhagavan, the Lord of the universe, is before you, asking you to drive him somewhere. What would you do? If you could have picked up the boat up with your hand and run, you would have done it. Not so. Kevat, he really ain't too keen. Bhagavan is begging Kevat. The word given is to beg. Magi. The Bhojpuri, Hindi will say mange. You hear that word, mange, to beg. The Avadi Magi. After some time, Kevat, he responded to Bhagavan. He said, I know who you are. Now listen to Kevat. I know who you are. And I know of the magic of the dust of your feet. Listen to what Kevat is telling Bhagavan. First, I know who you are, and I know the magic of the dust of your feet. Kevat is supposed to be, as many people would say, uneducated, unschooled individual. He is responding to Bhagavan in a little bit of arrogance and a whiff of ignorance. With no care, really and truly. And he ain't using no big words. I know you. Simple. I know who's you. And I know of the magic of the dust of your feet. We listen in Chaupai what happens next. Kevat is telling Bhagavan, I know the magic of the dust of your feet. It has the potency of transforming rocks, hard objects, into charming, beautiful lady. And not just any lady, the wife of Muni. He continues to tell Bhagavan in a very arrogant manner, simpleton manner, that the dust of your feet transformed a rock into the Muni's wife, a very charming lady. You would have heard in the bhajan a little while back. This would have been in Balkan, where Sri Ram was in the company of the Guru. Having reached to the ashram of Gautama Muni, it was abandoned and there was a rock. When he touched the rock with his feet, it transformed into Mother Ahilya, the wife of the Muni Gautama. Sometime before, Gautama would have left the home to go on an errand. His wife made a mistake, unknowingly, and she paid the ultimate price. The Muni gave her blessing. No, many of us would say that the Muni cursed her. But a Muni, the word Muni means someone who thinks before he speaks. Doesn't speak much, but thinks before he speaks. His wife making a mistake, he thought, and then he gave her a blessing, as we would say, probably a curse, that she would be transformed into a stone, and until the Lord of the universe doesn't come himself, touches that stone, she would not regain her original form. Now, that in itself is a blessing. For he would have left her there waiting for Bhagavan to come. No messenger, but Bhagavan himself. The wife of the Muni got the opportunity to be touched by Bhagavan, to see Bhagavan, to speak with Bhagavan. So that is no curse. In truth and in fact, that is a blessing. Kevat is reminding Bhagavan this evening of that episode. But suppose, now, my boat is made out of wood. Wood that is softer than stone, hard rock. So it's real easy for the wood to be transformed. More so, transformed into a Muni's wife. I already have a wife. I can't do it more than one. Struggling to mind one. And then how many pieces of board the boat made up of? Suppose each one was transformed into a lady. What that trouble here now? Okay, what is telling Bhagavan this? He'll lose his livelihood. Because this is the only means he has of supporting his family. He's a boatman taking passengers from one side to the other. Bhagavan listens to Kevat, smilingly, and he responds. He tells Kevat, okay. You come and we will talk some more. But Kevat, he didn't want to move. Kevat, the Bhakta, instructed Bhagavan. He said, listen, until you don't instruct me to wash your feet, clean that dust off your feet, then by no chance you are stepping on my boat. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. Lakshman is building up in some rage, in the temper just on the edge. So, Sri Ram, before anything was to happen, Sri Ram told Kevat, okay, fine. First thing, do whatever it is needed for you to save your boat and your livelihood. Listen carefully to what Bhagavan is telling Kevat. Do whatever is needed for you to preserve your boat and your livelihood. Bring me water, wash my feet. And the third thing, time is going late, very fast. 3 things Bhagavan told him. First, do whatever is needed. And that first instruction is like a blank check. Think about it for a minute. Do whatever is needed. If Kevat wanted to do a 7 nights Bhagavad, Bhagavan not said to do it already. Whatever is needed. Absolutely anything. And then he advised, look, bring the water, wash my feet, and then we're late. We need to go. The mood of the katha changes as we listen in the chant. What happens next? Kevat say, unless I don't wash your feet, not going to be allowed to step on the boat. Bhagwan gave him instructions. If you were there and Bhagwan is asking, as I said before, you would have pick up the boat and put it on your head and run across. The Lord of the universe is asking for your boat, your vehicle. Okay, what is going on rambling about all kind of different things. He want to do it, he bound to do it, and Sri Ram is just there smiling. It is the first time since Sri Ram would have left Ayodhya that he is smiling, laughing at him. Okay, what? Hold on a little bit. Lakshman put his hand and the arrow probably 3/4 out of the quiver. Says, today, if Lakshman kills me, that's okay. It wouldn't be the first time. Kevat is saying it wouldn't be the first time Lakshman was to kill him. In a previous incarnation, Kevat was a turtle in Kshir Sagar, the ocean of milk, where Bhagwan sleeps upon that couch of Sheshnag. Sheshnag is Lakshman. Now, every single day, Kevat, the turtle, is to try to make his way. You know, when you lie down on a couch and you're getting comfortable and thing, and a little bit of sleepiness come, you just hang out your foot and a little bit. Bhagwan, Vishnu, the same thing. Sometimes the foot will hang out a little bit. Kevat only waiting for that time when your foot will hang out to make a dash. A good, well, I can't say a sprint, a swim across just to touch Bhagwan's feet. Sheshnag, Lakshman, constant protector, always aware. Every time Kevat make a dash, right, Sheshnag would take his tail and give him a tapper, pelt him away a little bit. And so it went days after days, years upon years. That is the same routine. Kevat, the turtle, always tried to touch the feet of Bhagwan. Until one day, Sheshnag got fed up. And that dapper got pelted him far and killed him. So this is what Kevat is saying. It's not the first time Lakshman will kill me if he want to kill me now. He did it already. He says, until I don't wash that feet, I won't let you upon the boat. And another condition is that he doesn't want any payment. toll free. No payment. Imagine the boatman, Kevat, is making demands of Bhagwan. He telling Bhagwan what he wants to do, or what Bhagwan should tell you to do. It's something kind of wrong side, no? But that is the attitude of Kevat. सुनी केवट के बैल प्रेम लपेटे अतापते विहसित करुणाए न चिताए जानकी लखन तर. Two lines of a sword. The words Tulsi Das uses here, lapete atapate, real wrong side. Now, Kevat's attitude starts to change a little bit. First he was arrogant with it. Don't care. Now you simmer down. Tulsidas says that Kevat is not using any big words, no highfalutin words. Simple fellow. And he's addressing Bhagwan, your Lord of the universe. And sometimes what he's saying not even making too much of sense to me and you. But to Bhagwan, totally engrossed in his words and his attitude. Sometimes we think we need to have some sophistication to pray. Okay, what is telling us here? The simpler you are, the prayer will still reach. Bhagwan understands the simple prayer. No sophistication, no highfalutin is needed. Simple. Be listening, Chaupai, what happens next? Bhagavan smiles and looks at Lakshmana and Sita Devi. And he smiles. Lakshmana is getting vexed, he is getting angry, but Bhagavan is just smiling. There was one point in time, he said to them, both of them, look, you are at fault. Too early is to blame. This man is listening to me. First to begin with, I told you, Sita Devi, stay home. You are listening, you come. And then Lakshman the same thing. If my wife and my brother are listening, who's what to listen? कृपा सिंधु बोले मुस्काई. He laughed. Bhagavan laughed. He told, do whatever is needed. The instructions, he instructed Kevat, do whatever is needed to prevent the loss of your livelihood. Bring me water. Time is going. That is all Kevat wanted to hear. And the same arrogance and little whiff of ignorance changed. And Kevat started to praise Bhagavan. He said, Bhagavan, by one utterance of your name, just single utterance of your name, men cross this ocean of mundane existence. Just uttering it once. You're getting late. You want to go across the river fast. But you really don't need my boat. Kevat reminded Bhagavan again of an instance. In a previous incarnation, Vaman avatar, where by only 3 footsteps, 2, Bhagavan covered the entire universe. There was no space for the 3rd footstep. The king Bali took Bhagavan's feet on his head. So if you really want to cross this ocean, this river, it's simple for you. You think Bhagavan had to come past this way? For the devotee, Bhagavan left the comfort of the kingdom, barefooted, walking on the bare ground, and he came to meet Kevat. He came to meet his devotee. Kevat would have done the necessary devotion. Remember in the previous life, every single day he would wait patiently for the foot to start to hang off the couch. Single-pointed devotion. Kevat did that. That is the mark of a devotee. Constantly. Don't give up. Never give up. And you get blows. He got blows every single day. He got blows. Think about it for yourself. You're praying, you're doing anything possible, but yet still you're getting blows. Things sometimes they're looking like it's going your way at all. That was Kevat. Never getting to reach to touch Bhagwan's feet. Bhagwan smiled again. He looked at Sri Lakshmana and Devi Sita. And then to him, They may know if to smile or to be angry or what. When Bhagwan smiled. For he reminded them with the smile of an instance. As soon as Sri Ram and Mother Sita were married, Sita Devi and Lakshman had a fight. Had a quarrel. Quarrel for what? Before the marriage, Lakshman, his duty was to squeeze Bhagwan's foot, massage his foot. But after marriage, that duty is for the wife. So both of them have a quarrel. Who can massage Bhagwan's foot now? Lakshman and Sita, they two of them quarrel. This one want the foot, that one want the foot. Bhagwan say, okay, hold on. Sita Devi on the left, you take the left foot. Lakshman always on the right side. You take the right foot. Problem solved. Today he watching them two of them and laughing. Look at her. Kevat has both feet today. The devotee, a bhakta, a true bhakta, having been awarded this opportunity, without hesitation, he picked up the wooden bowl that he would dip out the excess water from the boat, and he came across. Tulsidas doesn't mention when it happens, but he called his family. He didn't forget his family. His wife and the rest of the family were there with him. And he started to wash Bhagwan. In fact, the word used not wash, bathe. Bathe the feet. You go bathe one foot, and you go put it back down in the mud. Because now it get wet, and it start to get muddy. And then you go to the other one. And so, what is doing? The bhakta gets the opportunity to play with Bhagwan's feet. And Bhagwan is just laughing, smiling. One instance he will say, well, when he raised one foot, washing, he would tickle under the other. Bhagwan would get a little misbalance. He said, Prabhu, if you are standing up too well, put your hand on the head. Look at the innocence of Kevat, the bhakta. Like a child. From the point of meeting when he was a little bit arrogant and no care, to now the word used, Ati Ananda. Happy. Let us hear in our last chaupai what happens. बोलिए रामचंद्र की जय. Now, in all this happening, there was one individual who was listening and paying close attention. In the same midst, and just waiting for that opportunity. Who do you think that was? Remember where they are. They are on the banks of Ganga. The Devi Ganga herself. They said here, she was just waiting for that moment to touch Bhagwan's feet, the source of where she came from. Ganga Devi. Kevat. Ati Ananda. Happy, not just any kind of happiness. Rare happiness. Super happy. You feel when you eat a laddu, you're happy? Multiply that by 1,000,000 times. And you still can't get the happiness that Kevat got there. By washing. Imagine you are instructed by Bhagwan to wash his feet. Think for a minute, your happiness. How happy would you be? They said that the devatas of the celestial world showered flowers upon Kevat as he was washing the feet of Bhagwan, saying that there was nobody as blessed as him. They envied Kevat. Imagine that the devatas of Swarga, they envied Kevat because they don't even have the opportunity to wash Bhagwan's feet. Listen in a closing doha. What happens next? बोलिए रामचंद्र की जय. At this point, Kevat, having washed and bathed the feet of Bhagwan, he took that same water that he was collected after and he drank. Drinking Charan Amrit. You know when we do puja, we offer Panchamrit or Panchamrit. After it is offered, it becomes Charan Amrit. It would have bathed Bhagwan, bathing feet. He distributed to his family. And virtue worth mentioning, Kevat didn't think of himself alone. He had his wife at his side and the rest of his family. Due to his devotion, his family was given this blessing as well, given the opportunity to drink of Bhagwan's Amrit, Charan Amrit. And not only Kevat's family, For with that same water, he would have offered tarpan. He didn't say, well, it didn't end there. Who gone, gone. He had business about them. Only Thursday last we celebrated 179 years of our ancestors being here. How many of us would have remembered the sacrifices that they would have gone through for us to be here in the first place? Did we remember them? Think of that for a moment. Kewat offered tarpan to his ancestors. Tulsidas Ji mentions that he was able, through that offering of tarpan, for those ancestors that were not on the road to moksha, he was able to grant or help them attain moksha through that offering. At this point, he finished washed the feet and he did all the tarpan offerings and drank of the charan amrit. Bhagavan was allowed now to step upon the boat. All four of them on the boat together with Kewat, making 5. Kewat set out on the river. Before he could have reached the other bank, he made a 180 and he come back. And he do that a few times, 3, 4, 5 times. Mother Sita is watching Sri Ram. Getting giddy now, man. This man only making circles. Tell him too fast, carry me. Sri Ram tells Kewat, what you doing? You're just making circles round and round in the river. We are late. Let's go. Kewat responded, Bhagavan, how many wrongs you take us through this samsara? Birth after birth after birth after birth. We will complain. 2, 3 little wrongs here, you're getting giddy. Eventually, he reached the other bank. They disembarked from the boat, and now Sri Ram just looked at Mother Sita, and Mother Sita understood what he wanted, what he needed. She reached in her finger and took out a ring, gave it to Sri Ram. Sri Ram offered it as payment to Kewat. Kewat, no care response. But I can't tell you already, no toll, no fare. That was the condition, right? I would not take any payment to take you across. Kewat asked Sri Ram, who was the last person to wash your feet? Sri Ram responded, Raja Janak. At the wedding, his father-in-law. The father-in-law has to wash the damad foot. Not so? His son-in-law. They are the wedding, your father-in-law washed the foot. Kewat asked, what did Raja Janak get? In fact, who got the payment for washing the feet? Raja Janak didn't get any payment. You got the princess. So there is no payment to be gotten after washing your feet. Meaning no money could pay for that. Absolutely nothing. He said, one condition again. Here it is. He was still making conditions to Bhagavan. You see, on your way back, when you come in, you had to pass back right here. Let's come and check me now. We could drink a cup of chai or something. And that was it. They continued. That particular ring, there's nowhere stated that Sri Ram gave back Mother Sita the ring. That was the ring that was given to Hanumanji when he had to go to Lanka. So Sri Ram kept that. That is how he had something to give to Hanumanji. So the ring was still in play, so to speak. Boliye Raja Ramachandra ki jai. Kevat reminds us all that we don't give up on our devotion. No matter how many blows you get, over and over and over. It may not happen now, it may not even happen in this lifetime. But don't ever give up on your devotion. Keep it simple and to the point. Boliye Raja Ramachandra ki jai. This brings us to the end of this evening's Katha. Is there anything else on the agenda as item? Okay. So, if there is nothing else, alright, so we stand for Ramayana Arati. देवैष त्रैलोक्यतिविरापहं यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मयन्तर्कृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे।
Bye.
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनोहरि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं ममदेव देव त्वमेव सर्वं ममदेव देव ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् प्रेम से बोलो राजा रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय श्री राम। On behalf of the entire group, let me take this opportunity to thank the management committee of the Mandir for inviting us to join in satsang and devotion. We could have probably been somewhere else, but the best place was to be here. So we thank you very much for inviting us to be part and parcel of your devotion this evening. Jai Sitaram. Do have a very safe journey back to your respective homes until we meet again.
Jai Sitaram. Cordial welcome to our monthly satsang. Faithfully to Panditji and members of the group. Thank you for a beautiful evening of satsang. I know that everyone thoroughly enjoyed. We wish you guys a safe journey home because they're coming from south side. So I know it's a long drive again. To everyone attended tonight's satsang, thank you very much for coming out. Our next satsang will be on the 6th of July. All a cordial welcome to attend, as well to all the fathers present. We know this one is Father's Day. We'd like to wish each and everyone a very happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. There's meals prepared. Please have a safe journey home. Sitaram.
Okay, so seeing that there is bhojan, we do bhojan mantra. Om Brahma Pram Brahma Vir Brahma Gau Brahma Hutam Brahme Vatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om.